Hi guys, welcome home to Break the Noise. My name is Mirth. Don't want to record today, and that is why I'm recording. I had a really rough week, and I literally thought to myself, how many people are going through a rough week right now, are going through a rough day, and this is probably what the enemy wants me to do, is not record. Right? Because I set a goal for myself. I set a goal for myself to make a channel, to continue a channel, to grow a platform, to spread the joy and love of God. And he's like, no. And I was like, bet, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm just gonna yap today. I'm just gonna talk. I want to talk about life, how to deal with grief, what's been going on with me, what's new, and just go from there. So I've always told you guys that I am not one to put on a front. I think it was funny because one of my first videos, I was like, listen, y'all gonna get what y'all get and don't get upset. So that is really what today is too. You're gonna get what you get and you don't get upset. I think it's good to show both sides, the glam, the glitz, but also regular life. And this week is gonna be a hard week because I lost someone very close to me last week. And this week, I'm still feeling the effects of that. I don't want to put on a front and be like, oh, I'm okay, because it's still hard. But I felt the fight that it took to turn on the camera. I felt the fight that it took to create. And I was like, oh, homegirl got to create because this is for somebody. It's for somebody right here. So whoever it is, it could be for myself. It's always okay to keep doing it. I saw a couple quotes today that said, the reason why we're so tired is because we are meant to create, but all we do is consume. Because the God who created us is a creator. All we do is consume. And then also, people are looking for their purpose when we are already purposed on this earth. We have a purpose. Our purpose is our God-given purpose. To commune with God, to love God, to pray to Him, to find Him, or actually accept the calling that He has. To accept the calling that He's put on our lives. To accept the sacrifice of His Son, Jesus. And once accepting that, walk in that freedom. And, casting down all our cares and picking up our cross and doing all those things. So we already have a purpose. We're already made with a purpose. We are created in God's image. So what else is there? And I think a lot of the times we don't understand, especially us in America, that everything else but living and breathing and loving God is a side quest. Everything else, love your Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And love your neighbor as yourself. Content creating, a job, doing anything outside of that is a side quest. It's a fun side quest, but it's a side quest. So loving your neighbor, what does that look like? When someone's in distress, not waiting, but like, oh, girl, I'll catch you the next week. Like, if you have the funds, helping them now, helping and doing things now. Don't wait till tomorrow to help somebody out. So I think our generation is focused on finding purpose when we already have a purpose. We're already purposed. I saw this beautiful analogy the other day that talked about being a glove. So a lot of people are like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Well, we are gloves and God is the hand. And when we are within God and communing with God and have accepted God, we feel our purpose. We understand our purpose because we're moving. Gloves have a specific purpose. But when we choose to let go of God and depart from God and walk away from God, we feel kind of useless, right? Just an empty glove. So I think it's super important to understand that once we really connect with God and, surrender to God, that's really where that purpose will come from. And once you have that purpose, everything won't feel as heavy. Not having a job is not going to feel like the end of the world because your purpose is not in your job. Your purpose isn't in your career field. Changing career paths, well, that's what God wants for me. You know what I mean? If I'm going to go from being a this to that, or I'm going to go from being a firefighter to a writer, it's like, it's okay because it's what God wants, and God knows that I have those things in me too. So God wouldn't put you in a place where he doesn't know that you already have the capabilities. And if you don't have the capabilities, what is it to learn? I think sometimes we get stuck in what we know. So we are afraid of wisdom and knowledge. We're afraid of getting more information. Okay, you've never been a lawyer before? Couple classes. It's like they didn't know how to be a lawyer before this. They had to go to school. So if God's like, hey, I want you to be my lawyer, then guess we being a lawyer. And so it really just takes refining. So what does purpose look like? It looks like not defining your purpose by your career field, by the people around you. You can't define yourself by who you're around because, yes, it is true. The people who surround you, they are who you are. Like, you are who your friends are. Show me, there's a saying that everyone knows it. Show me your 5 closest friends and I'll tell you who you are. It's true in the sense that these are the people you commune with. This is the people that you interlock with and intertwine with. So some parts of them relate to who you are. So even if you're like, no, they're just my friends. Well, they are who you are because they're your friends. So when they're speaking up for your character, when they're speaking up for who you are, they're speaking from a place of being like, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend, so it's super important. So find your purpose, knowing your purpose, but not letting the things around you become your purpose. The only true purpose we have is to really submit to God and follow his path. From there, you go into understanding who you are and the things around you and not making them become your God. So that's why it's important to not let the things around you become your God, whether it's friends, family, your status in society. As soon as you make these things your God, as soon as you make the gym your God, what happens? If you don't go enough, if you don't do enough, but because we don't understand God, because there's a level to us where we don't have a full capability to ever get to a point of God, we'll always keep going with God. Like, people are still trying to understand God today. Science is catching up with God. But if it's a person, it's like, if this person disappoints me, if this person leaves me, if this person breaks up with me, or if this person does anything and they become my God, when they're not there, all of a sudden my purpose is gone. That's why I think it's really sad sometimes when you have a partner, it's like 2 people, a person dies and then the other person dies like a week or 2 weeks later. It's beautiful, but it's also tragic in a sense of like, they probably didn't know what life would be like without this other person, and their heart broke. So it's super important to really put aside making people your idol, making your career your idol, making friends your idol. Like, friends and people are the same thing, but like partners and people, making your vices your idol. So whether it's TV, I'm gonna name things that people don't usually say, because people go straight, oh my God, it's alcohol, it's controlled substances. But what about like TV and food? Like, for me, food was an idol for a really long time. Like, I'm sad, we eatin'. I'm happy, we eatin'. We're going out, we eatin'. So it's like odd hours of the night, obviously because we had a pandemic, but food can be an idol. The way you treat food, the way you talk about food. If it's like all of a sudden I'm sad, I need food, or I'm happy, I need food, or I'm mad, I need food. Food can be an idol. Technology can be an idol. Technology, how many hours are you spending on your phone? How many times a day are you going on your phone? What does that look like to be off your phone? Like, if someone was like, hey, I'm taking your phone away from you for 24 hours, would you survive that? Would you be okay? Would you truly be okay? So technology can definitely be an idol. And it's like, oh, I have work. Where it's like, if you got off work for a day, would you be off your phone the whole day? Detoxing from our phones is super important. Another idol can definitely be the gym as well too, because sometimes I've seen people, I think a couple of people have passed away from dehydration or bodybuilding, things like that. And an idol has to be something that takes the place of spending time with God, or takes the place of God, or becomes your God, right? So without this in your life, you feel like you'll die. You like, this person's not in my life. It's the things that are in my life. I don't know if I'd survive without it. Now we have a problem. Now we got to go inside. We got to be like, why can't you survive without this? Why can't you survive without this person? We got to look deeper. And so those are things where you're like, okay, I have my purpose. I've knocked down the things that I've put above God, or I've made a God for myself. And then the next step is where am I right now, which is becoming, right? So I found God, God found me. I'm walking in my purpose. He's given me my purpose. He's told me what should I do with my life. And then the next thing is like knocking down anything that tries to take his place. And then now it's like, this is where I'm at. And I guess that's why I'm sharing this journey with you guys, because I didn't know I was going to be here. Months from now, I'm going to be like, okay. And also, I'm super happy that we're at 100 subscribers. I'm super happy that I made this channel like a little over 3 months, like a little under 3 months ago, and we're already at 100 subscribers, which means that you guys like the content, which means that you guys love watching me have fun and growing into who I am. You know what I mean? Even at the age that I am, you guys love to see what I'm doing, and that's really a blessing. So I think right now, words of wisdom is what I want to share. It's like find your purpose outside of someone, something, or something that you do, and find it in God, and allow God to show you what path he wants you to take you on. And from that point forward, you keep moving on, and there's so much more to discover. Once you're like, okay, with or without this career, I'm good. With or without this person, I'm good. But then you're like, with or without God, that's not an option. That's when you know you're like where you need to be. So I don't have much more to say than that. I appreciate you guys watching. And I hope everyone understands that we all have a purpose, but now we just gotta walk in our purpose. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for having a silly time with me. Please remember to click like, subscribe, and comment. And let's have some more purpose-filled talks. If you guys have any questions about purpose, life, and knocking down idols in your life, just leave them below. Bye. Let me tell you something about my dad. My father, he paid the bills. He paid the bills around here. He paid the light bills. My dad, my Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today daily bread. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. He paid the light bills. He do. So when y'all see me on the screen and everything be good, it's because my Father paid the bills. But yeah, there's a worthiest shout out to my nail tech. I want to give her just due. Shout out to my nail tech.